The day he deployed to Afghanistan for the first time, I had to go to his room to pick up some books or whatever it was, something about that. I asked him why everything was packed up in boxes. And he came back with a very blunt reply. So, if I'm killed, it's easy and convenient for you to collect my things. But that's the way they're trained, that's the way they're prepared for it. I mean, the day before he was killed, he had a patrol out when Tony Rawson was killed, which upset him enormously, we know. He's the acting commanding officer. He spoke to his girlfriend on the morning that he was killed himself, and he was expressed his grief at Tony being hit the previous day. Actually, he was speaking to his girlfriend when the attack on Inkerman commenced, and he had to basically say, "I'm sorry, I've got to go." And she was able to hear on the mobile phone the opening salvo from the Taliban coming in and hitting the base. David went up to the most forward position to coordinate our troops' response. As the engagement commenced, his bunker was hit by a rocket-propelled grenade, I think is the correct term, and he was hit in the chest with fragmentation from the explosion. He wasn't killed outright. He was fatally wounded, certainly. But then the story gets more and more vague because we don't really know what happened. All we do know is that he insisted upon continuing his job in commanding the engagement until eventually he was airlifted out to Camp Bastion, the hospital there, where he died later that day.
The welfare of his men was always at the foremost of his mind. And I think there was an element of frustration, anger, of what was happening, and sheer bloody-mindedness, I think, to a certain extent as well. The level of intensity had been increasing. I think he was tired, and he knew that the men were getting frightened. He wanted to rally them, and I think, and we're very proud of that.
We will be delighted if he received an award, because I think that is representative of the appreciation the nation has for men like David and the sacrifice they've had to make. Having said that, he will always be our hero.